Hi folks, this is Gabriel from dNotes, promoting a more decentralized world. Today we will explain Freehold, an idea behind the Stacks community and how this is a novel and promising way to run communities. But first, with thanks to Paradigma Crosscheck, Stacks and Freehold, here we go. And before we dive into it, we have to provide some background on the types of organizational structures to understand where Freehold stands. At one side of the spectrum, we have centralized organizations as they have a pyramid shape, which means at the top we have the CEO and at the bottom we have workers. In between top and bottom, we have different levels with managers very often here managing workers. This organization typically have accumulation of knowledge that is tightly guarded, just like the Defense Department of a country does. And they pass on the knowledge on a need-to-know basis downward from top to bottom, and so generally very tightly ordered. On the other side of the spectrum, flat organizations are by nature flat as they communicate sideways, as everybody has something to say, and run on personal or team knowledge or on merit. This is typical of universities. Every department, be it science or law, for example, develops their own knowledge and come together to share areas of possible cooperation. The accumulation of knowledge is not necessarily tight guarded. Universities operate in this way as to distribute knowledge openly. The point is that this organization works well because everybody knows and create their own research, and in that sense, they are ordered. And now we come to decentralized organizations. These types of organizations started picking up importance the moment decentralized nodes such as blockchain software architecture became possible. In this structure, the seed was being created to manage a trustless system where you don't need always a third person in between to validate, and are peer-to-peer based. Together with the accelerated impact of the pandemic and everyone working at a distance, software such as chat, email, video conferencing, and virtual settings became much more relevant tools to manage companies. It is also expected that from here, companies will need to control or manage their team through digital tools. Through blockchain, we also see the use of algorithms and consensus mechanisms are being applied with a reasonable level of success to manage decisions. But these communities are in desperate need of the following: a vision. A vision is vital on where they are going. But they really have clearly difficulty in differentiating themselves project-wise. They are in fact in desperate need of community leaders to create order and clarify their vision. In practice, so the management of decentralized organization will be a combination of a flat and hierarchical pyramid-shaped organization, plus automated features. Additionally, by nature of their design, they are asymmetrical, which means some nodes will grow faster than others, because some businesses are more attractive and drive traffic and more money. That might influence the direction and will need to be managed. We see this in the DeFi world. It is clearly taking the overhand in comparison to other projects, as developed by the Ethereum platform. But at the end, it is difficult to coordinate efforts, as the coordination is limited by market fragmentation too, as companies or startups using these structures don't really talk to each other. And if you put this together with the early days of the crypto evolution, it is a bit like the Wild West. As Bitcoin holds and increases its volume, many scams have taken place, ruining the work of those that want to do good. It is also difficult to differentiate between good and evil, ICOs and the good tokens. There are so many projects that it's also difficult to know all the ongoing projects. There is a lack of transparency, lots of volatility, and there is a generalized casino mentality and free riders. In this scene, the biggest winners, customer wise, are exchanges. Naturally. In this less than an ideal environment, the free rider is not involved whatsoever in the project and is a worst case scenario involved in pump and dump just there for an unfair quick profit. On the contrary, a builder refers here to a developer or other person in the community that is helping constructively to get the project forward, like in a project management. But as in the crypto market, that balance is broken, as there are way more free riders than people constructively cooperating. The balance between developers that put the skin on the game developing an application is minimal to those just for the free ride. One of the ways to help this is via hodling, meaning cryptocurrency holding the cryptocurrency for a long time rather than selling it at the slightest doubt. This is comparable to an investment that you make and help grow, just as taking care of a seed and later the plant. And cooperation between community-minded people to construct or build what they want to achieve. So what are we missing in this environment? It's a sense of direction. Money is being used as an attraction. Liquidity is being created, but there is a need for the creation of companies with clear goals and a way to structure the community. As Patrick Stanley, developer of the Freehold idea, puts it, if the last 2 decades were defined by 2 archetypes, engineers as founders, Zuckerberg and Sergey, and salesperson as founder, Jobs, Benioff, the next decade should be defined by community builders as founder. This trend will be capitalized by founders that leverage community as an underutilized resource by giving them a new deal upfront, aligning everyone not just values-wise, but also economically. I believe that this is a very promising initiative by Patrick, developing this principle behind Freehold. He uses the concept of HODL, but expands on this theme, starting with the idea that you have a proof of HODL login. Accessing applications are logged onto your HODL, similar to what you have with standard applications when you pay for additional features. With a difference is that here we are talking about holding or keeping up your investment, so not retrieving at the slightest downward movement in volatility. In an environment like stacks, the environment is very interesting as you might have different level functionalities, not just with one application, but across applications that you might want to access. Basically, underneath HODL unlocks accessing different levels, services and apps, newsletters, or chat room where minded people get together to make decisions as part of the community. Among the Freehold mechanisms, we have 3. You work accepting challenges that you have to do for the community and earn bitcoins. You mine stacks, or you can also purchase stacks. And last but not least, you can exit whenever you want, which is a huge difference from traditional memberships or subscriptions. And now a clarification. In this model, the user can be the stakeholder and the builder can be the same person while being part of the community. As user become staker, as opposed to stakeholder and user as separate entities. They are one and the same in this new model. Hodlers are in fact stakeholders. So to manage the community, incentive is a given. This is essential, but how? Hodlers are rewarded collectively as well as individually from their effort and basically by doing what they are best in and by communicating what they do to others. They are in fact making referrals. Additionally, there is an interesting concept of earn and learn as you get initiated in the ecosystem way and values and goals, providing direction to the initiative you want to create and learning at the same time. The community is pro-growth, pro-wealth, and further, Freehold helps provide economic and values aligned communities with tools for enabling and measuring their growth and impact. For example, a community box score can measure and reward collective milestones like conversions of new members, mining through output, keyword sentiment, and other things. Checking a list of done tasks could be part of the task as to incentivize others to show what they are doing and engaging in more activities. I leave you with the thought skin on the game, being the most essential part of a freehold. You participate in building and you do something for the community. It empowers the individual to work in common goals because he or she is taking risk by using his time or money, but with great potential benefits, as opposite to the free rider. As a freehold develops, we might be at the beginning of a new management tool to guide decentralized communities. Thank you for watching. Until next time, from D-Notes, empowering decentralized communities.